Welcome to the top 5 rackets of 2023. Now, spoiler alert, we actually predicted our number 1. We're like fortune tellers. This time last year when we did our rackets of 2022, we actually said, oh, of all the rackets coming out next year, we think
this could be it.
And it was.
I know.
And it wasn't because we predicted it, it genuinely was.
So we're saying perhaps as a caveat, it's obviously not possible for us to test every single racket that's released this year.
You mean that people in the comments think that we test every racket ever?
I know, we'd love to, but it's not possible for us to get every single racket and be able to test it. We do our very, very best, but it's not always possible. So if there are rackets that you think are better than any of the rackets that we mentioned, please let us know and we'll do our best to get onto them.
Lots of great rackets came out this year. We've tested them all thoroughly, the whole range and specific models. So we're going to give you our top 5 rackets.
Yes, and we're going to start with the range, aren't we, Josh?
We are.
The top 5 range.
Some would call it a silo.
Yes, certainly. Silo me up.
Let's get into it.
So in at number 5 is
the classic head radical, obviously Oxetic.
Yeah.
We were big fans. Those of you who watched our video last year will have known that the head extreme topped the charts with Oxetic, and this has Oxetic too, so it's another very, very nice racket.
Very nice racket, very versatile, very manoeuvrable, very nice racket to play with. I loved the Pro, but the range is excellent on the whole.
Yeah, so obviously the whole range, you got from juniors, a Team L, an MP, the Pro, so something for everyone with slightly different specs in each one, but the standard one that most club players I think would like and enjoy is the MP, the 300 gram, 100 square inch head, which I have here in front of me.
Very good.
So now we have had our radical in at number 5. That wasn't a straightforward decision. There were 2 very honourable mentions that haven't made the top 5, but are very good families of rackets, but didn't make it for specific reasons, which we'll get into.
Yes, for me, this racket coming up would have been in my top 5, but we're a collective of coaches, a collective of reviewers, and we come to a consensus on what we feel. So for me, the honourable of honourable mentions is the Prince Beast. The most surprising racket that we reviewed this year. Didn't have high expectations, but the racket performed beautifully. Think a sort of vintage pure drive in the best possible way. So an honourable mention to the Prince Beast.
But doesn't make it.
No.
Because it is just a 100 square inch option in a few weights.
Yep.
The cosmetic isn't the one.
It's not the one.
And therefore, I just don't think it can stack up against the more established kind of whole ranges. There is a 98 coming in early next year, which will be interesting to see how that one plays in that style of frame. So
sure.
Watch this space. Next honourable mention.
A Rolls Royce.
I think probably more unlucky to miss out than the Beast, even closer, is the head Prestige.
Yeah.
Those of you who've watched our Prestige video will know how much we really liked them.
Yes, absolutely. And I think what we've kind of joked about the chaotic nature of the Prestige range, but I think to me what would maybe push it into the top 5 and what we argued about was that the range is pretty diverse. There's a lot of different string patterns and different, as you go up the weights, and different head sizes and all that sort of thing. But we decided that overall the reason that it didn't make the cut was that it's too niche a racket. Yeah,
I think as a whole it's for a very specific style of player. And so if we're talking in the broader sense, the best family of rackets, the best range of rackets, it just doesn't quite stack up against some of the other options.
Yes, but very honourable, both rackets. I'd be happy to play with both, but I don't. And in another honourable mention, we have a beautiful racket. It didn't quite make it into the top 5, but...
And I think this one specifically is because there's one racket in the range that's very good, but as a whole range, doesn't quite stack up.
Yes, I'd probably agree. So that range, that racket is the head gravity.
I think it looks great. I think they went away from the... Some would call it childish, some would call it playful, the two-tone colour either side. I think actually it was quite a nice touch. A much more sophisticated racket now, and a bit different obviously with a narrow beam, but still the 100 square inch head and the slightly rounder shape to give it that kind of playability.
Yeah.
The Tour is a very, very, very nice racket.
Yes, love the Tour.
The MP, the Team, the other rackets in the range, not quite to the same level, and that's why it hasn't made the top 5, because as a family it's not there. Whether the Gravity Tour makes it into our top 5 specific rackets, you'll have to wait and see for that video, but it may well get in there.
On to number 4, and that is
a new racket.
A new racket.
Brand new. It's like in the top 40 when they go in a new release.
Yes.
It's not a new version, it is a new racket.
And that is the Wilson Shift.
And it's not just because it looks great, because it does look great.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't think it looks great.
Well, you're wrong.
But it does play well. The Pro, especially, again, that extra bit of weight, I really like. And a sort of a firm entry into the spin racket market for Wilson.
I mean, it's been kind of crazy. Obviously, Wilson had the Burn for a number of years, which was their spin frame. And over the last 3 or 4 years, it kind of been repositioned in their range as a kind of lower level, entry level racket. Then they kind of tried to half bring it back and then changed it again. So it'd been missing for a while. And I guess the shift and the way it flexes has been in the works for a little while, which is why it suddenly has come out.
A lot of R&D went into it, and it's made for a fantastic racket. But only number 4. What could be coming next that's better than this?
So in the Shift range, we have the 99, the main racket. We have the 99 Pro, which we've got here, and the 99L, a slightly lighter one. I also kind of like that it's 99.
Sure.
Because why not?
Yeah.
98, 100, let's go 99.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yes, a very nice racket.
Sit on the fence.
Yeah, it's got very nice luggage, and also has a new shoe. There's a Rush Pro Shift that comes out early next year that's not out yet, that goes with it. So we're excited to see that. And I'm sure you'll see it on this channel.
Yep. Controllable power, massive spin, in at number 4.
Hi, sorry to interrupt. We'd just like to say, if you're enjoying our video, we'd really appreciate the support of a quick click on that subscribe button.
Click subscribe, set the notifications up so you never miss a thing from PH Tennis. In at number 3 is a beautiful racket from Yonex. It is the Percept.
Now, of course, some would think it was a brand new racket like the Shift.
Kind of is.
New name.
Yeah.
New name.
But it takes over from the V-Core Pro, which I'll give you, was confusing to have a V-Core and a V-Core Pro, because it made the V-Core sound inferior, and that's simply not the case. They're just different frames.
That's correct, Mr. Yonex.
So, the Percept, beautiful control, fantastic precision, and a great solid range without too much wildness. But you've got the 97, you've got the 100, you've got the 100D, you've got the 97D, you've got the 97H. I think that's it.
There's probably more. There's loads.
There's probably more, but there is something for everyone in the Percept range, and they're rackets that play beautifully. Real quality precision. And
I think more than the precision, I think why, for those of you who'd seen our Percept versus Pro Staff video, why we liked the Percept specifically is the feel.
Yes.
And the comfort. Lots of the kind of narrow-beamed precision rackets come with not much
forgiveness.
Forgiveness and feel and feel, yes, but comfort, no. And this Yonex, I guess, the way it's built and the quality construction makes it feel really comfortable.
Yes.
Which was quite unusual.
Yeah, fantastic racket. In at number 3. In at number 2, we have an absolute classic, and we argued about this one a lot because I probably prefer number 3, but I understand why this is maybe a better range of rackets. It's never easy to decide, but we have come to the conclusion that at number 2 is
version 14
of the Wilson Pro Staff.
Desert Brown.
Yes, and I think for me, part of the reason that, in terms of putting a range higher than the Percept, was the addition of the X.
Yeah, I think the X was a great idea. I also think that within that, in that Percept range going back, there's some that are better than others. I think in the Pro Staff range, from 97L, 97X, they're all good.
Yes.
It's not that one's better than another. They're obviously for different types of players, but they're all good rackets in their own right, and that's why I think it pips the Percept into number 2 spot.
Yes, but again, one that we argued over quite a lot.
It also has legacy, and I value tradition.
Sure. Yeah, I think For me, it's interchangeable. I love the Percept and I love the range, but this is a worthy number 2. In at number 1. Now this racket, in our video last year, we actually predicted that this may well be,
did we?
When it was released.
We said anything but fortune tellers.
Ahead of time, we thought maybe this would be the number 1 racket of the following year. We were very excited about it, and not only did it not disappoint, but it exceeded expectations.
The ball pocketing. The dwell time.
The dwell time.
Rocked our world.
The comfort, the additional power than on the previous version, as well as the control and spin that you would expect. It is, of course, the Yonex Vore. Number 1 racket from PH Tennis in 2023.
And I think the best racket, not only of 2023, but currently the best racket that is out. And I'm going to give you the reasons why.
Okay.
Would you like the reasons why?
Sure, of course.
I think the reason why the Vore is the best family of rackets out at the moment is that no matter who you are, no matter what style of tennis you play, if you pick up a Vore and play with it, you will be able to. You'll enjoy it, you'll find some benefits no matter what you're doing. Sure, if you're a specific style of player, you might prefer a Percept or an E-zone if we're sticking within Yonex.
If you love an E-zone tour, as I do, you may really dislike a head speed. And
if you liked a head speed,
yeah,
you probably would dislike the E-zone.
Exactly.
But both of those players would get some joy and some fun out of the Vore.
Yes.
And that is why.
It's, while sort of marketed as Yonex's spin racket, it is to me the best all-rounder.
Yeah, I think it's wrong. I think whilst you can generate good spin with it, you can generate more spin with a shift and an aero though.
Yeah.
And arguably even an extreme.
Yeah.
But as an all-round racket for spin and comfort and control and feel and power,
yeah,
serving, volleying, ground strokes,
exactly,
the whole lot, it offers something.
And the whole range is excellent. You get a little bit more power with the 100, you get a little bit more control with the 98. When you go up to the tour, you get that extra stability, that extra weight, that plow through. And even in the lighter ones, you're still getting that level of control and stability because the racket's so well crafted.
And you haven't even talked about 95.
No, and the 95,
100L and 98L as our juniors, as a whole good family of rackets.
The 95, if you've got that time, if you've got that sort of precision, it is an absolute peach.
So there you go. There are our brief reasons why the Vore is number 1. Now, of course, we've done this as the whole family, the silo of rackets. We also have our specific top 5 rackets, which will be coming in a video very soon. So if you enjoyed this and you'd like to see our top 5 actual rackets, then stay tuned for more. I haven't got the notes out.
I don't need the notes. I'm vamping. I'm riffing. Can I riff?
No.